Rabbi Carrier, a dud. Next, vlog every day in April, day 17. What was my favorite year in school? I love school. I was like really good at school. I wasn't a good student necessarily all the time, but I was really good at being in school. I liked learning. I like hanging out with my friends. I like cafeterias. But I'll say my favorite year of school was far and away my last year of rabbinical school. Not because it was easy or because it was fun the whole time, but it's where I learned a couple of really valuable lessons that have put me in good stead and where I am now. The first of those was this decision to want to be a rabbi in a congregation as opposed to doing other things that rabbis do, which are working in organizations, being fundraisers, or teaching college students, teaching rabbinical students, both things that I really strongly considered and preferred before a mentor of mine, another rabbi here in the San Fernando Valley, said, no, dude, you got to try this because this is holy work. You get to have a great impact on people's lives on a personal level, and there's nothing like it in the world. And 6 months before taking this job of being the one rabbi in a small congregation, Burbank Temple Emmanuel, here in beautiful downtown Burbank, it's the last thing in the world that I would have considered doing. And a couple of people changed my mind about it during the last half of my last year of school. It's had a huge impact on me, and now I can't imagine doing anything else. The second thing was that it taught me, and I'm not perfect at this, but I began to learn to be myself. I've always been a pretty decent writer, so when it came time to my senior seminar in sermon writing, I thought, this is it. I'm going to love this. I'm going to knock everybody's socks off. And I wrote these great sermons, and I delivered them, and a dud. Like, seriously, it was like, yes, well written, but you read it like you are an anchorman reading the news. That same teacher who told me to consider going into a pulpit, he said, you know, you got to put your heart into it. You got to let your personality emerge. And another friend of mine said, like, yeah, that's a very well-written sermon, very well-read and intoned, but that's not the John that I have lunch with every day. And we goof around and tell jokes and share stories. And I like lunchtime John way better than Anchorman John. And as I've gotten more comfortable in my community, as I've let my guard down and taken myself a little bit less seriously and just been myself, the more effective a rabbi I've become gradually over time. The more I've been real John in those situations, not Rabbi Carrier, the more effective rabbi I've been, and the more fun I've had and less stress it's been. You know, like they say, always tell the truth and you don't have to remember your story. Always be yourself and you don't have to remember, whether you put on your makeup or put on the right costume. You're just there and it's you. And that is one of the most important lessons that I've ever learned. And it took me until my last year of 5 years of seminary to begin learning that lesson. And I've continued to learn that lesson as I've been a rabbi in Burbank for the last 2 years. Did I mention Burbank has an excellent budget for police helicopters? That's all for today, holy friends. Tune in tomorrow for a vlog every day in April, day 18. It's a good Jewish number. Lunchtime, John. I like cafeterias.